Hi, 5th grade, it's Mrs. Kioka. We're going to try doing a flipped lesson. So this is my first one. We're going to try lesson 4-5, dividing by one-digit divisors. So let's talk about what we're learning today. Before we can actually do some division, let's talk about our division vocabulary, the words that we need to know in order to talk about division like mathematicians. The first number we need to know is dividend. A dividend is the number that you are going to divide. Our next vocabulary word is divisor. A divisor is what you are dividing a number by. So for example, if I had 45 and I'm going to divide it by 9, 45 is the dividend. 9 is the divisor. The dividend is the number that I'm dividing. The divisor is what I'm dividing it by. Our last vocabulary word for today is quotient. A quotient is the answer to a division problem. So quotient is an answer to a division problem. So in this one, 45 divided by 9 equals 5. 5 is the quotient, 45 is the dividend, and 9 is the divisor. Okay, let's talk about how to divide. I'm going to give you a mnemonic device, something to memorize, to remember, to help you remember the steps for division. Now, if you've already mastered the steps of division, then you probably don't need this. But if you are still getting tripped up and you're not remembering exactly when you should multiply, when you should divide, when you should subtract, when you bring down, this is going to help you remember. We're going to use the division family. We've got Dad, Mom, Sister, Brother, and Rover the dog. Here's how they're going to help us remember. Dad divides, Mom multiplies, Sister subtracts, Brother brings down, and Rover repeats. If you can remember these, you can do any division problem. So here's our problem. 432 divided by 6. We're going to use Dad divides, Mom multiplies, Sister subtracts, Brother brings down, and Rover repeats to help us solve this problem. But first, let's estimate. Let's figure out about how much our quotient is going to be. So to estimate, instead of just rounding it down to the nearest tens place, I'm going to use a compatible number, because a compatible number sometimes is easier than just rounding down. If I had rounded down, 432 would become 430, and dividing 430 by 6 is not really any easier than dividing 432. So I'm using the compatible number 420. That's a little bit easier. The reason it's easier is because I know that 6 times 7 equals 42. And 42 is going to help me solve 420. Here's how. I'm going to do Dad divides first. So I can't divide 4 divided by 6, but I can divide 42. And Mom multiplies. I know that 7 times 6 is 42. So there I've multiplied. Sister subtracts, so I'm going to subtract 42 minus 42. Brother brings down, bring down my 0. And then Rover repeats. I start all over again. 0 divided by 6 is nothing. Okay, so my answer is going to be close to 70. All right, well, we did that. Let's try it with the actual number, 432. Dad divides. 4 can't be divided by 6, it's too small, but 43 can. And from the problem I just did, I know that 6 times 7 is 42, and that's very close to 43. So I'm going to multiply. Mom multiplies. 7 times 6 is 42. Sister subtracts, so I'm going to subtract 42 from 43. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 4 is 0. Brother brings down, so my 2 comes down. And then Rover repeats. I start all over again. So Dad divides, so now I've got 12 divided by 6 is 2. Mom multiplies. 2 times 6 is 12. Sister subtracts. 12 minus 12 is 0. And Brother brings down, but there's nothing to bring down. So my answer is 72. Let's check. Let's see if it adds up. We're going to use the inverse operation, which is multiplication. That's the opposite of division, to see if our answer made sense. So we have 6 times 2 equals 12. Put the 2 in the 1 spot, carry the 1 on over, and it's going to be adding up. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 1 more is 43. So we have 432. Let's check. Yep, we divided 432. There it is. Okay, so we did a good job. Now, let's do some guided practice problems together. We're going to use the guided practice problems from page 103 in our math book. You're welcome to stop this right now, grab your math book, and check. But either way, whether or not you put your math book in front of you, I want you to have a piece of paper and want you to do this along with me. If you can beat me, kudos to you. Alright, so here we go. Our dividend is 270. We're going to divide it by 9 and see what we get. So Dad divides. So I can't divide 2, but I can divide 27. 27 divided by 9. I'm pretty sure that's probably 3. Mom multiplies. 3 times 9 is 27. Sister subtracts. 27 minus 27 is 0. Brother brings down. Rover repeats. So we start division all over again. 0 divided by 9 is 0. There's our answer. Let's check. To check, we're going to multiply the two numbers on the outside and see if they become the number on the inside. So we've got 30 times 9. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 3 is 27. Good job. Oh, I already checked. Alright. Number 2. 684 divided by 6. So we start with a 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Mom multiplies. 1 times 6 is 6. Sister subtracts. 6 minus 6 is 0. Brother brings down. I'm going to bring down the 8. Rover repeats. So I start all over again. So 8. Remember, even though that 0 is in front of it, it's still just the number 8. 8 divided by 6. So I can only put 6 in there one time. So 1 times 6 is 6. Mom multiplied and got 6. Sister subtracts. 8 minus 6 is 2. Brother brings down. Now I'm going to bring that next number all the way down. So now my number is 24. And then Rover repeats. So I begin again with Dad dividing. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Mom multiplies. 4 times 6 is 24. Sister subtracts. 24 minus 24 is 0. My answer is 114. 114 times 6 would be how I checked. Okay, 114 times 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And then 6 times 1 is 6. 684. Is that the number we started with? 684. Yes, it is. All right. Number 3. 65 divided by 3. So I got rid of Dad, Mom, Sister, Brother, and Rover. But by now, you should probably know them. If you don't, you can write them down. All right. So 65 divided by 3. Can we divide 6 by 3? Yeah, we sure can. We can divide it 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. Bring down the next number. Bring down a 5. How many times can 5 divided by 3? It can be divided 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. Then we subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. We have no more numbers over here, so we're done bringing down for right now, and this is our remainder. Our remainder of 2. 21 with a remainder of 2. Okay? So here's how we can check. We're going to take 21, multiply it times 3, because remember, these are answers. On the outside, we're going to multiply them together and see if it becomes the number on the inside. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. We had a remainder of 2, so we're going to add on 2 more, and that equals 65. Alright, let's try another one. 339 divided by 5. Can you divide 3 by 5? Nope, it's too small. Let's try another digit. 33 divided by 5. Sure, we can divide that. So what's going to get us close? 5 times 6 is 30, so that's very close. 6 times 5 is 30, so we subtract. 33 minus 30 is 3. We bring down the next digit, becomes 39. I know 5 times 8 is 40, and that's too big, so it must be 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract that. 39 minus 35 is 4. So I have 67 with a remainder of 4. Let's multiply it back up and check, see if we're right. Remember, we're going to multiply the numbers that are on the outside. When we have a remainder, we just add it on. Okay, so 67 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 3 more is 33. So we have 335 plus 4. 4 was our remainder, and that's going to equal 339. Same as the number in the middle, right there that we divided. Alright, another one. 564 divided by 5. Let's see if you can beat me. Start with the first digit. 5 can be divided by 5 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. Bring down the 6. 6 can be divided by 5 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring down the next digit. Get 14. 5 times 3 is 15. That's too big, so it must be 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And 10 minus 4, or I'm sorry, 14 minus 10 is 4. So I have a remainder of 4. Double check to make sure I got it right. I'm going to take 112. I'm going to multiply it times 5. Then I'm going to add on that 4 at the end. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Don't forget to add on that 4. So we get 564, and it's the same answer. Good job. Did you beat me? Let's see if you can beat me on this one. 724 divided by 4. 7 divided by 4 is 1 time. 1 times 4 is 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. Bring down the next digit. It's a 2. So 32 divided by 4 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. So I subtract that and I get 0. Bring down the next digit all the way down to the bottom. And then 4 divided by 4 is 1. There is no remainder. Double check by adding, or I'm sorry, multiplying. And I have 181 times 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 724. Alright, we did all the guided practice problems together. Now, it's your turn. Here's what I need you to do. I want you to go online and watch lesson 4-5 on Pearson. After you're done watching the lesson, take a quiz. Make sure you use some scratch papers so you get the right answers. And then don't forget to click I'm done. That lets me know that you have finished and I can see what your score is. Plus, you'll also get your homework for the next night. Alright guys, thanks so much. Bye.